what's up you guys, it's Simon. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you can probably already tell, today we are doing the grayscale challenge. So the first thing you saw me do was go into my settings, my iOS settings or whatever, and change the accessibility so that my screen would look grayscale. If there's weird cuts in this video at the beginning and end, I'm sorry. I had to manually change the screen recording in my editing program to be grayscale because it doesn't, unfortunately, screen record in grayscale, so that was very annoying. But I promise you, I did do grayscale, and you'll see by the end of this video the proof, essentially, that I definitely didn't know what colors I was using. So, to get started, I'm just doing sort of a simple-ish style sketch. I didn't want to do something too detailed because I noticed that the main challenge of this video was already going to be trying to get the colors correct. And I did give myself a sort of extra handicap, I would say, and that is in Procreate I almost have where all of the colors are memorized on my wheel, and I usually use the square color picker thing, so I gave myself the extra challenge of changing it so that is the color wheel instead, and I do now know where all of the colors laid on that side, or not side, on that aspect, I guess. I don't know the right word, but I don't know where the colors are on the color wheel in regards to Procreate because they're in different spots than normal when you compare it to Psy or something. So the next thing I did was, you see me crop my canvas quite a few times, and that is because I don't know what was going on with my Apple Pencil today. It was being super weird. It was very it wanted to skip a lot. I just couldn't get it to draw consistently, and it was getting on my nerves so much so that I literally paused and changed the nib at one point, trying to see, and I think it's at this point right here actually, where I literally replaced the nib to my Apple Pencil and it still doesn't want to work. I don't know. It was considerably annoying. I had a lot of trouble trying to get it to work properly. But I managed to get through it, so I started sketching the character, and at some point while I was sketching, I think it was towards the end of that, I was starting to think, oh no, I think I'm sketching in green, because I don't know what possessed me to think I was sketching in green, but I was trying to think relative to, I was basing it on the gradients, I guess, of the color wheel. So I noticed there was a portion up in the top left-ish corner where everything was very light, and so I was like, that must be yellow, which means, oh my god, I must be using green, because when you think about the color, the square function on the left-hand side is where all of my reds are, and on the right-hand side is green. So I was like, I did all of the sketches in green. That's not great. And so after I finished the sketch, I went into the coloring portion and I switched to the opposite end of the coloring wheel because basically I'd convinced myself that I was sketching in green and that I was about to paint her skin green too, which I didn't want. I wanted a nice peachy color because I wanted to do I wanted the colors of her eyes and her hair to pop the most out of the whole entire thing. So like I said, switched to the other side of the color wheel and used my basic knowledge of where I was in that position to figure out where the next colors were. So I was looking at the darkest part of the wheel and I was like, that has to be purple, and I know I wanted purple hair for her, so I went up towards the top-ish corner because I wanted it to be sort of a lavender, not quite pastel, but a mid-tone lavender. So I did some of that, did some really simple shading, and went on to the eyes. So I don't know if I posted this on Instagram, but there's a picture that I drew of a little baby Naruto, and I really liked his eyes. I made them blue and put a little yellow bit in the highlight portion of his eye, and I was like, that looks really cool. I want to do the opposite of that. So I wanted to do a yellow eye with a bluish portion. And I just sort of like went from there, and I was really proud of how the blending in the skin went. I was sitting there thinking like, wow, I should really like paint in grayscale more often. I think I might start trying that. I know I've seen some YouTube artists do that. Like, I think I'm gonna say her name wrong. I say it wrong every time, but that like Saruka Tepes, I think her name is Sarah, I don't know, but I've seen her do like digital paintings in grayscale first and then switch them, like edit them to be in color, and I was like, I could never do this. Like, that technique seems like it's like so much extra work. But then as I was blending in grayscale, I was like, oh my gosh, everything's blending so well. I have such like an issue when I'm blending in color, and I wasn't having those issues when I was doing it in grayscale. So I was like, that's amazing. I love this so much. I'm gonna start doing this more often. But I think I'm gonna stick to like actual grays instead of turning the grayscales on, because as you will see here in just a moment, painting in grayscale is hard. Not the grays, but with the colors all gone, because, and it'll probably be in about the next few seconds, after I flip the colors back, her skin is green. I literally painted like some kind of alternate universe Gamora. I was so angry. I had done everything right. Like, her eyes, little too blue, could be less blue. But you can see that I did pick a yellow. It's really small, but you can tell that there's a little bit of yellow in there. And then her hair, it is purple. It's not exactly the tone that I was looking for, but it is purple. So technically speaking, I did hit my goals. It's just that she's the Grinch now. And I never should have doubted myself. I should have just been like, no, that was right. That was where the reds and the oranges were. I was sketching in red. I was in the right space. I knew what I was doing, but I doubted myself. So now she's green, and I guess if anybody's going to the Area 51 raid on the 20th, here's your girlfriend. There she is. Enjoy her. This is great. I definitely would do a challenge like this again. I thought it was a whole lot of fun. I will say that I will probably make it a little bit even more hard. Let's make things even worse on myself, since I'm constantly second-guessing myself. I noticed that in the accessibility options, there's also an inverted thing. So I don't know. Do I want to do grayscale and inverted? Do I want to torture myself? Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see me do that, and I probably will. But with that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this disaster. Let me know if you guys want me to do something more detailed, or if you even want me to do the inverted challenge, or just let me know like what other challenges you want me to do in general. I've got so many on my board, but none of them are striking me as something like I should do this now. So let me know what you guys want to see. Chances are 9 times out of 10 I will do my best to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and a quick thank you to my patrons, Sleeps and Elise Thompson. You guys are the best. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.